Most throwing technique in Aikido consists of a combination of ilimi, hip rotation, hand blades, and wrist grabbing. The throwing movement itself is a true reflection of one of Aikido's basic principles, a spheric rotation which literally looks like a ball being thrown forward. To see this, let's look at a few basic throws. Ilimi nage, shiho nage, and kaiten nage are the foundation of many different throws in Aikido. Today, therefore, we will demonstrate kaiten nage, as well as kote gaishi nage and tenchi nage. This technique was developed in order to prevent your opponent from reattacking you after a successful breakfall by controlling his joints. Therefore, sometimes it's also called nage katame waza because it's a combination of nage waza and katame waza. When your opponent strikes you with his right fist, first do an ilimi to his right side, while at the same time blocking his right hand with your left hand blade. Next, break his balance by doing a tenkan and grabbing his right hand with your left hand. Step back with your right foot as you twist your opponent's right wrist and cover his hand with your right hand in order to throw him. Finally, quickly turn him over face down on the mat and lock his arm.
この技ではしっかりと入り身し、手刀で制し、無理に手を引っ張るのではなく、足さばきによって相手を崩すことが大切です。
For tsuki, kote gaishi, variations like the following are also possible. When your opponent grabs your right wrist with his left hand, do an arimi to his left side and break his grip, rotate to your left and break his balance using his left hand. Twist a section from the knuckles to the wrist of your opponent's hand to the right and throw him in a spiral motion. Then turn your opponent face down and pin him by locking his left elbow as you maintain your hold on his left wrist. When your opponent strikes at you with his right hand, do an arimi to his right side and block his right hand using both hand blades. Rotate to the right to break your opponent's balance, and then twist a section from the knuckles to the wrist of your opponent's right hand to the left side, and throw him in a spiral-like motion. Leave him lying face down and control his right elbow with your right hand. When your opponent strikes at the side of your head with his right hand, step in and pivot to the left on your right leg while you block the attack. Next, step in and tenkan on your left leg while holding your opponent's right hand with your left, as if to cover the base of his thumb. Throw him by stepping back before turning to your left. When your opponent approaches you from the right side and grabs your right forearm using both of his hands, pivot as you raise your right hand blade and then grasp the back of the opponent's right hand with your left hand. While you swing it down, twist your opponent's right wrist to your left side as you place your right hand on the back of his hand. Pivot to your left and throw him. Place your right hand on the right elbow to turn him face down on the mat, and then sit to complete the pin. When your opponent moves behind you to grab both of your wrists, swing up both hand blades while pivoting to the right on your right leg. Then swing your hand blade down to break his balance. Grab the back of your opponent's right hand with your left hand, apply your right hand as well, and then throw him in a spiral motion to the left. Turn your opponent face down on the mat as soon as you've thrown him to complete the pin. Kote Gaishi, which we have just finished demonstrating, is a unique combination of graceful circular movements seen in throwing techniques, combined with the quick, sharp movements of locking techniques. Kaiten Nage is a technique used to throw your opponent forward as you would a ball, while you firmly control his neck and arm. This technique is often utilized to practice the forward ukemi. When your opponent grabs your right wrist with his left hand, do an atemi to his face and rotate forward as you raise your hand blade to duck under his arm. Simultaneously, raise your right hand up and then cut down to break your opponent's balance, and place your left hand on the back of his head. Grab his left wrist with your right hand and throw him in a circular motion as you step forward.
この技では手刀で相手を制し、 正確に回転することを心がければ、相手の後頭部に無理な力は不要となります。
When your opponent grabs your left wrist with his right hand, step in to the left as you swing your left hand blade down and out while doing an atemi to his face with the right hand. Then, as you rotate your left hand blade up and apply the blade section on your opponent's wrists, pivot right on your left leg. Swing down your left hand blade as you step back with your left foot to break your opponent's balance. Finally, as you grab his right wrist and control the back of his head, throw him. When your opponent attempts to strike you with his right hand blade, do an orlimi to his right side and control his right elbow with your left hand blade. Swing your opponent's left arm back with your right hand while shifting your left foot to his right rear. Grab his right wrist with your left hand and control the back of your opponent's head with your right hand blade before you throw him forward in a circular motion. When your opponent strikes at you from a Han-Mi stance with his left fist, do an orlimi to his left side and cut down along his arm to grab his wrist. Simultaneously, take one step back and control the back of your opponent's neck. Step in, thrust your hips forward, and throw him in a circular motion. When your opponent grabs both of your wrists from behind, first raise both of your hand blades up in a spiral motion before swinging them down as you lower your center and pivot out towards your opponent's right rear. Then, throw your opponent as you rotate his right arm up and forward with your left hand while controlling the back of his head with your right hand. The primary characteristic of kaiten nage is a circular sabaki motion. We encourage you to master this circular movement by practicing repeatedly. Last, let's take a look at tenshi nage. This is a throw used when your opponent grabs both of your wrists. Utilize your breath power as you thrust your right hand blade up and the left hand blade down in order to throw your opponent as you step into his right side with your right foot.
この技では一方の手刀は内側、一方は外側になります。入り身と呼吸法が元になっていますので、その点を鍛錬することにより習得できるはずです。
For tenshi nage, there are other variations like this conclusion. All of these techniques, kaiten nage, where you utilize circular sabaki movement, kote gaishi nage, a combination of nage waza and katame waza, and tenshi nage, where you maximize the power of your breathing to throw your opponents, are all popular techniques which very well demonstrate the major principles of Aikido. Carefully study each movement in order to master each technique precisely.